Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have a couple of great stories waiting for us, so I hope you're sitting comfortably, and let's get started. For the beginning, just a little story to warm up. This is not your Uber lady. I'm not sure if this counts, but I love this sub, so I figured I'd post it anyway. A few weeks ago, my fiance was coming to pick me up after my gym, which sits above one of those hair salons where they just style your hair and don't cut or color or anything. He texted me that he had arrived, so I walked out and made a beeline for his car when an angry woman emerges from the salon. I'll be me and she'll be AW. AW. What are you doing? That's my Uber. Me. No, it's not. That's my fiance. AW. No, that's my Uber. What are you doing? Get your hands off my Uber. You're stealing my Uber. Me. Again, that's my fiance. This is our car. AW. Well, he's my Uber driver. You can't just wait for yours. Me. No, he isn't. So I got in the car and left her in a screaming fit of rage, presumably until her actual Uber driver arrived. I'm willing to bet she left a bad review for her actual Uber driver over the interaction with you and your fiance. Poor guy. And our second story. So what? Tough crap. This encounter took place 6 years ago. I had recently gotten a job at an Aussie-themed TGI Chili Bees, traditional uniform of avocado green button-up camp shirt, black slacks, black apron, and kitchen shoes, plus a boomerang pen with my name on it. It was just down the street from my mom's house, on site at a self-storage property connected to the office, and my now wife and I moved in together across town. I don't drive, so I would take the bus from my house to mom's each morning, lounge around and get ready for work, then head back down to her house after closing up and wait for my wife or a roommate to pick me up. Restaurant closing shifts are notoriously long and late, and I miss the final scheduled bus by 30 minutes most nights. Long story short, my mom was purchasing a dog from out of state, and this particular night her new puppy was being flown in. My wife offered to run down to the airport with my mom, and I told them both I'd meet them back at mom's house and meet the new puppy. So it's 12:15 a.m. The flight lands at 12:40. As I'm walking the 2.5 blocks from my work to my mom's house, I notice a group of about 9 people standing outside their cars in front of the access gate. The gate clearly states access hours 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. I just got off a double shift, so I keep my earbuds in and try to sneak past them through the walking gate to get into my mom's yard. I made it. Gate clicks shut. I start up the small steps to her door. The security door squeaks just a bit, and this Karen is on me in an instant. She'll henceforth be known as Irate Mother or IM. Her 8 flying monkeys, who seem to operate as a hive mind, will be FM. IM. You there! You need to open this gate! We need to get an important document now! Me. I'm sorry, I don't actually work here. Gates open again at 6 a.m. Have a good night. IM. Like hell you don't. You have keys to that door, so you have keys to this gate. Let me in! FM. Let us in! It's important and time sensitive! This is insane! I know this is corporate name, but I'd still expect some customer service. You clearly work here! Me. Even if I did work here, it's outside gate access hours. I don't work here. This is my mom's house. Again, I apologize that I can't help you. Have a good night. I am. She's leaving on a flight at 4 a.m. tomorrow, and her passport is in the storage unit. Either let us in or I'll call the police. Me. All right, call the police then. There's nothing I can do. FM. Come out here and open this gate, or I'm coming in after you. You're going to let us in either by grace or by force. Me. I have no way to open that gate. I don't work here. I don't even have a gate code. I am. So what? What are you saying? Just tough crap? Is that what you're telling me? Me. Yeah, pretty much. So I walked inside and locked the door. They stood outside yelling for a few more minutes and eventually took off. Mom and wife returned about a half hour later. I explained the situation to them and played with the puppy. All was well. Next day, IM reported me for my unacceptable and rude behavior as abysmal customer service to the district manager. IM stated that when she requested access, I said, tough crap, laughed in her face, and told her to F off. IM stated that her daughter missed the aforementioned flight due to my unwillingness to help and that she would sue the company and district manager personally to recoup the cost. District manager could hardly keep from bursting out in laughter. She was a close friend of my mom's and had seen me interact with customers, theirs and my own, several times, and took pleasure in telling IM that the behavior described was completely out of character of me to the point of being not even remotely plausible, and that it would be best if they simply vacated the unit. IM was fuming and gobsmacked, but made sure to vacate the space by the end of the month. No legal notice was ever served in relation to this. You know what they say? Tough crap. Why would you keep something as important as a passport in a storage facility? That makes zero sense to me. And we're moving on to our third story. But he has a badge. As the preface, I work in the engineering department of a company that has a couple of manufacturing centers in town. As an office guy, my dress is office casual with my work badge on a janitor-style retracting keychain. Said work badge has the company logo written large with my name and photo on it. I recently got myself a Nintendo Switch and have been enjoying Breath of the Wild, and after work had gone to the local Best Buy to mull over getting a Pro controller to see if they had any amiibo deals. While crouched down, looking at the controller display, a kid about 6 or 7 years old walks up to me and says, "Excuse me, is this the Nintendo aisle? Because it's my birthday soon and my mom said I could get a Wii game, but only if it's not a violent game like my uncle got me because violence and explosions are bad." In one breath. I let him know that it was the Nintendo aisle and pointed him at their Wii section, looked at like maybe 2 games and thought nothing of it. Little cute, excitable kid. Then it happened. Mom came over. I heard her say, "You need to show me where all your Wii games are." I decided against the Pro controller just yet, put it back on the shelf, and started to walk away. "Excuse me? Are you even paying attention?" I turned to look at her and apologized. "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't work here, but I think that rack where the boy is all the Wii games they have." You do work here? You just helped my son and have a badge on." "Ma'am, the badge is for a manufacturing company across town. I'm just getting off work and I'm late getting home." I started to walk away when she grabbed my arm and started screaming, "I need a manager!" over and over, while her kid still enthralled in whatever Wii shovelware was still on the shelves. I had to twist my arm out of her hand and took a step back. By that point, 2 yellow-shirted security employees had a couple of blue shirts come up. She's going on about how I was going to get fired and had threatened her. One of the security guys got between us and the other pulled me aside to talk. Mike was cool as I gave him the quick rundown. The whole time I'm doing that, the crazy lady keeps getting louder and more absurd. I was up to attacking her and her son just because he wanted a game. The other security guy finally told her to be quiet for a moment. They'd been watching the cameras. That guy never touched you or your child, and he doesn't work here. "But he has a badge. He has to help out if he has a badge. It doesn't matter." Security guy Mike suggested that while she's distracted, I make my way out of the store, and I take him up on the offer. So I came in a week later to ponder Switch accessories. As I'm walking in there, the security guy Mike had a flash of recognition. "Hey, you have a badge. You gotta work here." We got a chuckle out of that, and he said that she continued to argue with the other security guy for 10 minutes until they had to have her trespassed out by the cops. And that when the police showed up, one officer already knew her by name. The police already knew her? Oh boy, I bet that entitlement of hers is spread far and wide on many unsuspecting victims. And our final story of the day. PO'd lady calls restaurant she didn't order from to complain. Not sure if this is the right place for this, but it seems to fit. I work as a restaurant manager in a pretty busy area that contains a lot of other restaurants. We're also located right next to a very affluent area and get a lot of spillover since it's an organic, healthy restaurant. In short, I've become pretty accustomed to dealing with entitled people. So I arrive at work yesterday and start making my rounds, checking everything when a host comes up to me and tells me there's a very angry lady on the phone calling about an order she just picked up. I go check our system before I pick up the phone. I like to know what I'm getting into ahead of time, and notice that we haven't had any takeout orders since lunch, about 3 hours ago. Confused, I go to answer the phone. Me. "Thank you for holding, this is Mintberry." Lady immediately cuts me off, screaming, "Finally! I've been waiting 15 minutes on hold for a manager to pick up." She hasn't, because after 3 minutes it redirects the call to ring again until someone picks it up and proceeds to yell into the phone for a few minutes before I can even get a word in. Angry lady. "The delivery driver took forever, and by the time my chicken fingers arrived, the fries were ice cold and soggy." Insert a long list of complaints that I mentally checked out and have learned it's easier to just let these people go. Cut to about 3 to 4 minutes later, after the woman was going on about how we always screw up her order, and last time her bacon wasn't even crispy on her burger. Eventually, she must have been expecting a response as I half stopped paying attention and just hear a loud hello being repeated over again. Me. Hello, thank you for calling X restaurant. Interrupted again, complaining about cold food and wait time. Eventually, I can get a word in after several minutes. I find it more entertaining at this point since we aren't busy and it is the middle of the day. Me. Ma'am, we don't do delivery, nor do we offer chicken fingers, fries, bacon, or hamburgers. AL. Yes, you do. I eat there all the time. I interrupt at this point because I do have other tasks to attend to. Ma'am, what does the name on the container bag say where you ordered from? She looks at it for a second, then replies with the name of the steakhouse right next door before rudely asking me to transfer her. I can't, for obvious reasons. Anyone with half a brain would realize, and upon telling her no, she starts going off about how she would never eat at my restaurant because of the terrible customer service she's gotten while on the phone. WTF. Me. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. And I hang up. Lady calls back not even a minute later demanding to speak to my boss who isn't even at this location. We're corporate. We just left her on hold until she hung up. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.